Welcome back, everybody, and thanks again to David Dow. Truly a amazingly informative and educational talk for all of us. This next presentation is Catherine and JC are going to join me, and Egan too in a minute. You'll get to meet Egan. I call this investing through a pandemic. Companies have faced all sorts of choices starting back in March in terms of how they're going to go forward doing business through this period. And the decision that I've made is we're going to keep going full steam ahead, and the work goes on. So we continue to invest in the business, which means investing in the services that we provide to you. Our business strength is very strong, and I would say even stronger than before the pandemic. We think that there are a number of advantages that we bring as a company, especially the fact that we work so closely with you, and from the outset of our relationship, we strive to understand who you are and where you want to go in your life. And as we have this period right now, as I said earlier in the day, where people are making changes, we're in a great position to act as partners to you in making those changes. And so it's been a very, very edifying period for me personally to work with you as clients to help you make decisions about, is this time to retire? Is this time to switch jobs? Is this time to move cities? Is this time to move countries even? And so I am gratified that we are being consulted to help answer those questions for you. Our team is in fabulous shape. I think our team attitude now is terrific, even stronger, and has gotten stronger over the time of the pandemic. We're going to talk about a number of improvements that we've been making in different areas, and oftentimes that means technology or process. We'll talk about some of those and other developments that we have going on. That will be talked about here. I'd like to now introduce Egan. So Egan is somebody who came to us. There she is. Egan is somebody who came to us through the Upwork platform. Catherine and I began to realize, a couple of years ago or so, that we had the opportunity to work with a huge quantity of talent out there over the internet using the new work platforms that are available. And we really found Upwork to be a very effective place for us to find people who could help us on a one-off basis for this project or that project. And we met Egan through the Upwork platform and really, really found that we like Egan a lot. Her work ethic is fabulous, and she's very experienced at different things. Egan is based in St. Louis, Missouri. We'll see. We'd like her to come to Texas. We'll see if that's in the future. We've talked about it. She has a Bachelor of Arts from the University of Missouri. And she is going to be increasingly focusing her efforts in administration, client services, and communication. So she'll be working directly over time with many of you, and including in many of the areas where JC has been working with you. Egan will be learning as well to work in those areas. And Egan is very, very experienced in all sorts of different areas. She's sort of a jack of all trades with experience in administration, communications, theater arts. Egan, you graduated with a degree, I believe, in theater and photography and writing. So Egan helps us do a lot of things with really, truly excellent quality. And I've asked her to say a few words of introduction today, so she gets to meet you. You get to meet her. Egan, take it away.
Thank you so much, Leonard. Yeah, just like they said, I've been working with New Capital for over a year now. We started with one little task, and the work just kept coming, and I had a really good time working with everybody. I've been to Houston. I've seen the offices. I had some very spicy food and some very strong margaritas. But yeah, in the time that I've worked with New Capital, honestly, I love the approach. I love Leonard's leadership. I love working with Catherine. And I've gotten to know all of the clients and how much you guys care about the clients. So I'm really looking forward to developing a personal relationship with them and helping them with whatever they need.
One of the projects that you've been working on, which has been really important, is as we've developed our 360 platform, you have really helped us move data, including all of our records of our meetings and records of our tasks, from our previous system to the system that is now our current system and the one that we've been building. And so what's interesting to me is that you've gotten to know our clients really in detail through transcribing that data, and often my bad handwriting, and getting it into our data system, where we can really use it and be able to make available to our clients and to ourselves all that information. So I want to thank you, and maybe you want to talk about that project. It's still ongoing, isn't it?
It is absolutely still ongoing. We're not even 50%, but we're so close.
Damn.
No, it's been an honor. It's been an honor. I've watched promotions happen. I've watched grandchildren be born. I've watched houses be bought, and I've watched you guys all accomplish your goals. And that's so exciting, and honestly, an honor to see.
So we look forward to you continuing to grow in your position. And what I would say is that you should all expect to see Egan increasingly included in tasks and conversations that we're working on. And the goal ultimately is that JC is going to hand off her administrative type activities. Egan is going to pick those up. We always take a very slow and deliberate transition, so that will be ongoing. And Egan, I want to thank you very much for all the work you've done to help us and help our clients.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Next, JC's going to join us.
Everyone.
Hello, JC. You've been waiting very patiently today on our virtual conference. And JC is going to talk about what she has been up to. JC is another of my fabulous colleagues, and work is a real joy for me right now at New Capital because of people like JC and Catherine and Egan. And JC is going to talk about what she has been up to in these different areas, and she and I are actually going to give you a little bit of a demonstration of some software, so you get a better idea of what we do kind of behind the scenes. Take it away, JC.
All right, so many of you already know the past year and a half, I have been assisting more in the financial planning area after I got my CFP, I think it was in August of last year. And with that, over the past year, I've still been doing the administration, client services, but also in the past couple of months, I have been transitioning to help Leonard with portfolio rebalancing and trading, which I have really grown a lot of interest in. And so with these two new roles, I will be transitioning away from administration and kind of handing that off to Egan over the next several months until she gets a firm grasp of how everything works and learns all of the clients. And so with that, we wanted to do a little demo of, many of you have already seen Right Capital, which is our financial planning software. So let me share that right here. So we just wanted to do a little demo for those of you who may not have seen it yet. We migrated from MoneyGuide Pro about a year and a half ago, maybe. And so we just set up a little demo client here, Jim and Sally Sample. And so we just want to show you how easy it is to walk through our financial planning software, virtually. Many clients do come into the office and we do this, we project it up onto the screen and we can walk through it together, but it's just the same effect and efficiency virtually if clients want to do that. And so here's kind of the homepage that we look at. We have the client's net worth, their investments, their accounts here that is imported from Fidelity and other held away accounts. And then we have property, mortgages, just depending on the specific client, what we'll have filled out here. And so we walk through this and we want to make sure we get as accurate inputs as possible. We start with the goals tab, which is where we'll put any expenses. So here we'll have retirement ages. If you're already retired, we'll have your travel expenses, your monthly expenses, healthcare, cars, things of that nature. So here you'll see we have, Jim and Sally haven't quite retired. So they have two dependents, Jane and Billy, who they still have to pay their college tuition. So that's built out here. And then we'll take you over to the income tab. So here, if you're still working, we'll put in your salaries. If you're retired, we'll have Social Security, any pensions, any other miscellaneous income that you receive. And then we also have a savings tab. If you're still working, putting money towards 401ks and IRAs, things of that nature. The expenses tab here is just a little bit of pre-retirement living expenses, tax expenses and fees. And then the last tab here is the family tab. This is where we'll want to include everyone in your immediate household or anyone that you're planning for. So in this instance, Jane and Billy, we're still going to want to plan for those college expenses. So we've added them here. And after we walk through all of these with you and make sure that the inputs are as accurate as possible, that's when we'll go over to our retirement tab. And sorry, close for a second. The software will run an analysis for us. And based upon all of the inputs that we've put in, the software is projecting a 91% probability of success, which we would consider very good. You can see here the bars are demonstrating the terminal net worth value or the terminal value of the estate once at the end of the two main clients' plans. And so with that, we have a couple of action items we can mess with here. So with that high probability of success, maybe Jim's going to be able to retire at 65 instead of 67, and we'll just see kind of what that does to the plan. And you can see it has a pretty minimal effect on the plan, still a very good outcome. And the same thing down here, maybe we want to spend $20,000 a year on travel rather than the 15. We'll see what that does. And also pretty minimal effect on the plan. And so here you'll see the proposed plan when I make those changes versus the current plan that we had prior with those inputs.
JC, what if they want to spend $100,000 on travel?
Okay, well, we can definitely model that. Let's see what that looks like.
That's what I would want, right?
Nice, yeah.
Can they do it?
Let's see. No,
Nah.
it's not like that.
Okay,
No.
get it.
We can't do the 100,000, but you
Okay.
know, maybe even 25,000. We could give them a little extra cushion there.
All right.
Still, it's a very good outcome. And so something that we like to look at is called the confidence. And here you can see, this is a Monte Carlo simulation being ran here. And this is just, what is it, 1,000 simulations, Leonard? Is that the idea here?
It's a lot. It's thousands, yeah.
Thousands of simulations here. You know, this top graph here, this top line of the graph is, you know, year after year, amazing market returns. You're going to end, you know, what is that, like $17 million in your estate. And if it's just year after year, bad returns, you know, you may run out of money right before 88, 89. But the median here shows you're going to make it all the way through age 95 plus and with about a, let's see, $4 million estate.
So this is the same technology that I was talking about during my presentation this morning that the pollster, Nate Silver, is using to simulate the results of the election. We're using the same Monte Carlo type simulation to simulate your likely outcome of your financial plan. So it's a very powerful technology.
Correct. And then another one of our favorite tabs to look at here is the income tab. So this is just showing you, you know, once you retire, where is your income going to come from? This down here in purple is going to be probably Jim's salary first at age 65. And then we have Sally's kicking in when she turns 65. I believe she's 5 years younger than Jim. So you can see a portion of their income is coming from Social Security. We have another 5 years of Sally's income here from working. And then the rest is going to come from savings withdrawals. They have a pretty hefty savings account, so you can see it's going to carry them all the way through. And that's really what's going to, their income is going to be supplied from those savings accounts through the remainder of their life. All right. And then one of our favorite features of Right Capital that we didn't quite have in Money Guide Pro is the cash flow. So this is really going to put numbers to everything that we put in. So year by year, it's going to give you your income inflows, whether it be Social Security, salaries, and then down here, once they turn age 72, it's going to be their RMDs from their IRAs. So it puts all of this into number form for us each year, which is really nice. We have our monthly expenses, our annual expenses here, any goals that we set in. So for college, vacation, cars, it's going to model that out. And it also takes into consideration a tax payment each year, which is really nice as well. Plan savings to 401ks or IRAs. And then you could see each year here, they have negative cash flow. And that's where they're getting those savings from, or the withdrawals from savings right here. And then you can see down around age 70, 72, they start coming out a little bit positive. So it flips a little bit just due to these high RMDs here.
So JC, thank you very much for showing us Right Capital. The major point that we want to make here is that even in a pandemic environment and even in a virtual environment, we have the ability to do a very effective financial planning, either baseline with you if you are a new client or a prospective client, or to update your existing financial plan with you. If you want to come into the office, we're happy to have you in the office. We've got very, very strict protocols that are working successfully. But if you prefer to do a virtual meeting with us to update your financial plan, we can do it. And Right Capital, you see, is very fast and very graphical and gives us the ability to give you the information that you need. So many of you we have done updates over the last few months with. If you are interested and you feel like it's time and that you want to update your financial plan with us using Right Capital, whether that is in person or whether that is through a virtual meeting, just let us know and we will get it set up to do with you. All right, and then the next thing, JC, we're going to show is in the rebalancing area.
Yes, so this is our rebalancing software called TRX. Leonard introduced me to this, a couple of months ago. I always knew it was there, but I never got to, dig into it until maybe 4 months ago. And him and I have really built a very efficient system between the two of us to rebalance these accounts. And so we've just used this same GEM sample here that we're going to show you what our rebalancing looks like. So you can see there's little sections here that show, where everything is off balance that we'll need to rerun the rebalance for. And what we do is we will run the rebalance here. And the software kind of puts out these little graphs for us. So these are how the accounts are currently allocated. You can see this OOB next to each subclass here is out of balance. So that's good. We need to rebalance it. And over here, these charts on the right is showing the target allocations. So you can see each subclass is off just a little bit, but we'll still want to go ahead and rebalance that. And then down here is just another graph that TRX gives us that puts it into percentages as well as dollar amounts of those subclasses of the changes here. So you can see the differences in the dollar amounts that we'll either want to cut or increase in the specific areas. And so once we review this, everything looks okay. We will go to review, where TRX will give us trades to model. So it's divided out here by accounts. You can see the first account is a taxable joint account between Jim and Sally. And it looks like there's just a little bit of cash that we want to invest, and we'll do that into US equity. The next account here is Jim's individual account. And so there are a couple of trades here on this account. So it looks like TRX is modeling a pretty big buy of US equity, some sells of some core bonds here that it wants to sell, but these core bonds are a little different. We don't necessarily want to sell these. So there's two ways we can go about this. We could either edit the proposal manually here and take those out, but if we did that, we would have to reconcile for those cells because we'll probably have a little more buy than what we would actually have if we took those out.
So what JC's saying there is that TRX is wonderful because it forces us to do a full reconciliation on the trade. Cash has to balance with an offsetting either buy or sell. And so it's a safety feature built into our trading system that we really appreciate. We can't go forward with any trade unless it's in balance.
Correct.
Just like an accounting entry.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And so the other option for us would just be to set these as do not sell. So then that way TRX would, it would not model to sell these bonds. All right, and then the last account here is Sally's IRA. And once she's got a pretty big chunk of cash here that it's going to want us to invest into. You can see some US equity here, some international emerging markets and real estate, but it also wants to sell a little bit of core bonds and inflation protected bonds.
And then from here, what we do is we will upload these trades once we have them the way we want them and we say, all right, this looks good. We take into account taxes. Is there a tax effect here that we either like or don't like? If we don't like it, then we'll hold off. Then we are able to take these trades and upload them directly into Fidelity or whichever custodian that we're working with. And so what we like about that is that minimizes any kind of human error. Rather than us retyping in trades, they're being uploaded directly from system to system. And so we eliminate any possibility of human error on the data entry side. And this is what JC's showing right here is the resulting file that will then go up into Fidelity. So we thought this would be of interest to everybody to see sort of behind the scenes and the plumbing of how a rebalancing operation works and how we're able to take what has become a fairly large practice and be able to make trades on a large scale and broad basis for all of our clients. So JC, thanks for taking us through that.
You're very welcome. Thank you all.
Next up, Catherine is going to come back in and she's going to talk about all the different things that she has been working in. She's been very busy as a mom also. Griffin is now
2. He turned 2 last week.
So
in addition to that,
he's the same age as NCM 360.
That's right. I've got 2 babies. So, you know, in the world of communications, obviously 2020 has been a pretty landmark year. In addition to, you probably have, hopefully everyone's jumped in on a webinar here or there. We were having weekly webinars there for a while, and then we moved to maybe monthly and then down to quarterly as things de-escalated from the pandemic and all of the news over the year. So in addition to that, some of the initiatives that we've really been focused on this year are the New Capital Journal. We are releasing more content and from some new sources. I think when we started the year, we were weekly, but we may have had 2 pieces a week. We're now up to, we have a goal for maybe 4 to 6 pieces a week. It comes to you weekly, so you're not getting an email every day or anything like that, but you get hopefully a good assortment of market news, administrative news from New Capital. Obviously, we get pieces from Leonard's desk. We also are trying to share pieces from our investment partners like BlackRock, JP Morgan, Dimensional Fund Advisors. We've also do quite a few infographics from a site called Visual Capitalist. And also we've introduced a new site called usafacts.org just recently, which is really aiming to share unbiased, nonpartisan facts coming out of statistics from our country. So hopefully that information we're sharing is interesting and informative, and hopefully you all are enjoying that content. The next area, this is going to be really, we've been working to develop ProNet, and the way that this is going to play out into the new year is we're going to be more strongly assessing your current relationships with your professionals. We hope that this is valuable to you in the circumstance where either A, you need a new professional, either you don't have one yet, or your current professional is maybe not servicing you the way you'd like, or they're going to retire, something like that. We can then make an introduction to someone new who can hopefully better serve you and take care of you. And in the case where you love your professional, it allows us to retain that information and hopefully be able to refer that person to other New Capital clients who may be in need. So it's a way to get new business for someone who you think is a valuable professional for you. And then last but certainly not least, probably the biggest area of work for me for 2020 is NCM 360. We talked about it a little bit at the last conference last year and introduced it, but really this year has been heavy on development and data entry, as Egan's been helping us get the data in once the system is ready to hold that data. And before I do a quick screen share of that, just a few notes. One, we are at the point now, probably starting in January, where we're ready to roll out some beta testing for clients. So when we send you the evaluation form, one of the last questions on the form is, would you like to sign up to be a beta tester? We don't need a ton, so we'll take probably the first 5 or 10. And if you sign up to be a beta tester, if the software you see today looks like it might be interesting, or you're really enthusiastic about it, we'd love for you to do the beta testing and let us know where there's area for improvement, or if you have ideas, we'd love to hear it. The really cool thing about this software is we are able to make the changes. So rather than us adapt software from another company where we have to then maybe suggest changes as we go, and wait for months or forever for those changes to happen. If we agree to it and we think that it's valuable, we can implement those changes immediately. So that's really powerful for us. And the second comment before I do the share is one question you may have is, we're talking about your data and on a platform, is data security. Do know that that's the top concern for us as well. And when we began building the platform, we went through a due diligence process to make sure that that security is in place. The platform is built on a product called Knack. It's a website called Knack that builds databases or holds databases. And Knack is based on the same server as Amazon Web Services, AWS. And they, of course, have the highest level of data security. A few little features about the Amazon Web Services service is they have a full team of security experts monitoring 24/7 to protect content. There's automatic data encryption, important to us that your data stays secure. So hopefully that puts your mind at ease. And I will move over. I'm going to do a new share so that you can see a sample of this. There we go. Okay, we're good. Okay, so first, really quick, before I show the client dashboard, here is just a visual currently of our ProNet. We are constantly building and kind of going through a due diligence process with the professionals before we include them here. And we're hoping that this number goes way up in 2021. We're working through that process and working with the professionals. Obviously, it's been a very busy year for everybody. And so we're working to get that number increased. Again, that's why we'll be contacting you to do the due diligence process with you and with the professionals that you're working with as well.
Catherine, I just wanted to jump in for a minute there and say that yes, we have a process in place whereby we interview different professionals in different areas to be able to build this directory, including professionals that you introduce us to. We will have a call with them. We were having lunch with them actually, and having them come up to the office and meet with us and tell us about their practice before the pandemic hit, and the pandemic has gotten in the way of that. So we're working on what can we do to have a good, strong due diligence conversation. And our goal is to be able to meet your needs in whoever you need, whatever it is that you need in terms of professional service, that we have somebody that we have sourced and vetted that we can refer to you. That is our goal with the ProNet system. And to give you hopefully several options, you know, even down to electricians. So if you've got an electrician that you like, let us know, and we will work on getting them into ProNet. So that is our goal, because we're asked for referrals all the time. Can we help you find an estate attorney? Can we help you find a CPA? Whatever it is, can we help you find a family therapist? We will be happy to make those recommendations as we continue to build out ProNet. We want to make sure that you have what you need in your life in a whole variety of different professional services.
Thank you. Okay. And lastly, I know we're short on time. I want to get you guys out of here. I'm going to do an abbreviated version of this, but what you're looking at is the client dashboard, the client side of NCM 360. So as you can see, the tabs up at the top of the screen, these are all the different areas of information that we can keep, that we're making accessible on the client dashboard. So you can see accounts, addresses, assets. I'll flip through a few of them and you can kind of take a look. One of the areas that I do want to point out, some of you may have worked with us on a spreadsheet to enter your household budget. That data is now kept in NCM 360 and is accessible to you, not only to view, but you can make edits to your budget as well. So it can kind of be a working system for you. Obviously at the top, you can see some visualizations of the breakdown of your income and your expenses. And then you can go down and make edits immediately. So you can click on edit. You can add in, if you're starting to receive rental income and you want to add that to your portfolio, or excuse me, to your income budget, you can simply put in, say you're going to be getting annually, let's say $20,000 from rental income, hit save, and it automatically adjusts your numbers and adjusts your pie chart. So that happens. You can then scroll down, and let's say that the pandemic hit, you're now doing a lot more grocery shopping and a lot less dining out. You can make those edits and it'll be reflected immediately. We store careers, charities, moving through that. Another one to highlight is checkups. You probably know over the past years, when you come in for your annual review, whether that's in person or virtually now, we are asking you to submit a financial health checkup so we can kind of assess and see how you're doing. And this is now the place where all of the history of that is stored, which is neat. So now you can say, you know, I became a client in 2017. My average score at the time was 3.95. And now in 2020, my most recent, my average score has gone up to a 7.5. So you can see the history of those results over time shared with you and not just internal. So we think that's pretty neat. The compliance section is really documenting your relationship with New Capital, your legal documents, investment management agreement, fee addendums, that kind of thing. So not only can you see the last date where it was signed, but you can also pull up the PDF of your scanned document. So if you ever need to reference that, it is right there available to you. It's a blank page for now for the sample document, but that's what you can pull your documents up right from there. So, you know, just going through a few other of these tabs, all of your documents, any document you have stored that's connected to another record can be saved with that record, but it also goes into this document vault, so where you can access anything from your investment management agreement to closing documents on real estate, all in one place. And yeah, the rest of these, we have detail on your estate planning, your personal goals, your discovery session that you did when you first started with New Capital. We have all of those records now digitally. And to us, the benefit here is when a New Capital client joins us, we get a lot of information about you. And if we cannot quickly retrieve that and use that for our purposes, it's kind of useless sitting on a PDF saved in a file, even if it's digital. So now what's some of the work Egan's been doing is transcribing and getting these notes into the system so that we can easily, you know, search for it and be able to retrieve that information to be able to use that in helping to serve you. And then for you as clients, hopefully the benefit there is that when you log into NCM 360, which also has mobile functionality, so you can log in from your cell phone. When you log in, any piece of information that touches your financial life is in one place. So hopefully that's going to provide value not only to us internally, but to the clients as well. So
our goal is that you be organized. We've observed that clients who are better organized are calmer and less stressed out about their finances, and so that is our goal, is to make sure that you have organization coming about through this NCM 360 system that we ourselves have crafted from the bottom up. We have full control over it, and we can continue to add and enhance it. So that's the goal, is to help you be as organized as you possibly can and give you the information, your information at your fingertips.
So that is all I have. That is it for the day. It looks like a few questions have come in. Okay. And so we're going to ask a few questions. JC, if you want to jump back on, and then if any questions come through, each of us can answer related to that. The first question that's come through is, how do you access ProNet? ProNet is actually live on the website right now. If you go to newcapitalmgmt.com, you go to the client section and you can access ProNet from there. As we continue to develop it, we want to make it with much higher visibility on the site. Most of what we do currently right now, to answer your question, is if you need a professional, the best place to start, if you look at ProNet and you're just like, there's nothing here for me, contact one of us. We have a huge database of professionals. They may not all have gone through every step of the process to get their profile live, which some of that includes strictly administrative, like we need a photo of them, we need them to proof their bios, things like that. So if there's someone that you need and you're just not seeing it on that ProNet, the list of professionals that's currently live, let us know and we can get someone for you. So that is it. The next question we've got, is the NCM 360 site already up? Where do we find it on your website? And is it totally secure? So talked about the security question. We believe that the security that Amazon Web Services, the platform there, is secure. That's where NAC is based on. And so hopefully that answered that question. And the NCM 360 site is already set up. It's not currently available to clients until we grant that access to you. Like I said, we will be enlisting your assistance for beta testing for that. And so if you're interested, we're going to share the evaluation, the conference evaluation poll in just a moment, and that link or your option to log in there to be a beta tester is on the poll, so you can indicate that there.
Let me just talk about security.
Mhm.
The server-side security of the database itself is through Amazon Web Services, as Catherine has indicated. So in this day and age, we trust Amazon Web Services, companies like Microsoft with Sapphire. These are server-side systems. These are the most powerful, robust server-side storage in the world. And my view is if they're not trusted with their security, then nothing is. These are the companies that are being interviewed by the Department of Defense. You may have seen that there was some wrangling over who was going to get the DoD business, whether it would be Amazon or whether it would be Microsoft. And I think that Donald Trump's poor relationship with Jeff Bezos, emanating from the Bezos's ownership of the Washington Post, actually caused Amazon to not get the business. Microsoft got the business. So we're on Amazon Web Services, and we don't know of a more robust, safe place to keep it. You will have to keep your password safe. You will have a password to get into NCM 360. So it's like anything else, right? Just like with Fidelity or with whatever system you have, you'll have to keep your password. You know, if you lose your password, then you lose your password. So this is also why we recommend a password keeper, and can help you with that as well. We might want to show that, Catherine. The checklist you built on cybersecurity might be a really good thing to show everybody right now. Can we pull that up? One of the things that we have built for everybody is to keep your own cybersecurity profile. So take a look. If you want to get yourself fully up to date in the digital world, NCM 360 provides for you a whole checklist that you can go through and look at it. It's enormous. So we are happy to help you go through and get all these things done, but you got to do it. You got to want to do it also. So I hope that answers the question on security. You know, nothing in the world is fail-safe anymore. If you give away your password, you give away your password. But your data is stored with Amazon, and we don't know anything more secure than that. And I don't think the Department of Defense does either.
There was one other question that came in, Leonard, that you might just be able to add on to the ongoing question about security. Obviously, we know it's a major issue, but it says ransomware and cyber attacks are forecasted to increase exponentially. How are we preparing? How's New Capital preparing? Generally, NCM 360 access via two-factor authentication is a general method. Do you want to have anything to add to that?
Well, encryption, yes, for sure. We use password checkers on everything, and we are doing what we need to do on our systems. We have a policies and procedures manual, which also includes, and this is something that's mandated by the SEC, so these are great questions. We have a policies and procedures manual where we have an entire cybersecurity section that we annually have to go through and make sure that we're compliant in that area. So this is an area where the SEC is doing more, and we are committed to reviewing and updating our policies and procedures, including cybersecurity, on an annual basis. So the good news is that I have a computer network background. My first job, my first career was in computer networks, and I had my own computer networks company back in the 1990s, and put systems in for other companies. And then really it's extraordinary how everybody here at the company is very technologically advanced. And so it really starts with that we have an interest. We couldn't have developed NCM 360, right, without these skills. So we have very strong networking skills and software usage skills within the company, and that puts us in position to do security as well as we can do it. And the partners we pick, that's really critical. So working with Fidelity and working on the NAC platform and working with Morningstar. For me, it's really critical that we pick partners that can represent to us that they also are taking the right steps with regard to cybersecurity. So these are all sorts of due diligence things that we do before we decide to go off in a direction.
And the only other question that's come in, feel free to continue typing in, was I did not see a tab for estate planning and wills. It is right here. So this is where records of estate planning would go, and attached to that would be, there's not a document currently loaded, but you can attach that will or that estate planning document to that record, and it can be saved in there as well. So definitely estate planning section in 360 for you to save those records and be able to access them quickly and easily. And there's no other questions that have come through at the time. So I'm gonna get back to the slide so Leonard can.
One area, I just, hang on, Catherine.
Oh, sure.
I just want to highlight a couple slides or areas. Go to elder care. So you see these different modules that we've built. So here is an elder care tab that we've included in the system. We see that something like this gives our clients an ability to keep their wishes for both elder care and for end-of-life desires. And so rather than that being somewhere where nobody can lay their hands on it or it can't be shared with next of kin, we feel that this is really the type of system that allows our clients to keep this information centralized. And then if you want to share it with people in your family who are loved and trusted as well. So we're thrilled with this, and there is no other advisory firm that has this. Truly, there is not. We gave a demo of it to Fidelity. They came in and they were completely blown away. I don't know how else to put it. And they came in to meet with us to say, the meeting was ostensibly about how we can improve our process, and Fidelity was going to come in and teach us some things. And they left the meeting feeling like we had taught them about process, and so we're really super excited about this, and we feel we're at a point now where we can get it into the hands of some clients who are willing to test it and give us some feedback. Now that means that if you decide you want to beta test, you can't expect it to be perfect. It's not going to be that. So I want to warn everybody, you're not getting a full, we've done a lot of testing and use, and we're doing that on a daily basis, but along with you being kind of first into the pool means you're going to also have to tell us, do we need to adjust the water, and is the temperature right, and what are some things we need to fix? So if you don't feel you can give us that feedback as a user, probably better to let other people do some beta testing, because we're going to want that feedback from you and have you be an active user of it and tell us where we need to do some fixing and some enhancing.
Okay, so that is all that I have, Leonard. Oh, the only thing before I pass it to Leonard to close us out for the day is, if you would, like I mentioned before, we have an evaluation survey for today's conference. This is the URL you can type in, newcapitalmgmt.com/eval, EVAL. You can type that in now. I will also, once we're ending over here, I will try to get that typed into the chat feature so you can have a live link there, hopefully. And we'll also follow up with an email over the weekend so that we can try to get as many evaluations for today's conference as possible. So with that, I'm going to pass it to Leonard to close us out for the day. Thank you so much for your time.
I want to thank everybody for being with us today. Thank you so very much. Please do fill out the evaluation. I want to again thank Kyle. I want to thank Catherine very much for what an incredible job she did putting this together. You've been working on this now for a couple months, as you always do, and always do such a fantastic job. Hannah, my wife, attended today and got her own package in the mail of the program and the lunch card, and said, wow, what a fantastic touch. And so all this has really been accomplished by Catherine. And so I want to thank you very much, Catherine, for a fabulous job. To JC, also to Egan, for all the work she's been doing and introducing herself to you all today, and certainly to our speakers today. Thank you to Drs. Bashai and Lee, and to David Dow for the insights that they gave to us. They were absolutely terrific and fantastic. So we'll look forward to hearing from you. If you would like to meet with us for anything, we were available in person here in the office. You will have to mask up and wash your hands, etc., and we'll do the same. And if you want to meet over video, as we've been doing today, we're happy to do that as well. I hope everybody has a great weekend. The weather, at least here in Texas, is beautiful. Get out and enjoy it. And of course, if you have not voted, vote, please. Thanks very much, everybody.